Thank you for taking time to look at this Getting Started video. This is the first video in a couple of videos that will be coming out over the next couple weeks introducing different parts of WorkPapers. But the idea of this video is to get you started immediately with setting up your own projects and getting started with the program. Here you can see that I've set up a project called Financial Audit. And there are various other audits or audit programs set up in here. And I've taken these actually from the WorkPapers forum, http support.workpapers.pro. And in there's a template section, and you can find these templates in there. But to get started here, let's go to Project, and let's create a project. So in here I've got a list of my project and also some unique project codes. But I want to create a project called, let's call it a project audit, for example, in IT. Let's call it SAP project audit. So a lot of times when we start these audits, and you'll see here it shows up. So we'll select that, and immediately over to the left here, you'll see that in the tree outline or the checklist that SAP project audit shows up at the top. And a lot of times when we start these projects, we'll go into a planning phase, or sometimes even a pre-planning phase, where you actually have to sit down and discuss scope with the client. So the first thing we'll add here is pre-planning. And you can see we have pre-planning listed here, and in there we'll add, for example, scope definition. And then after we've defined scope, then usually we talk about money and contract, so we'll add contract. And then because it's, this could be a project in and of itself, so it may need a project audit or a project charter if it's a rather large audit or something that's big enough to require that. But in this case we'll say not, and we'll select SAP project audit, and then after the pre-planning we actually go into the planning phases and document, for example, preliminary document request is a good place to start. And from there you can go on using this free-form checklist approach to create an audit plan. So here we have the SAP, this is the project, basically multiple project list box, and here we have our tasks for that project. So when I click on a different project, I get a different, for example, list of tasks over to the left. Now as we add tasks, you may have noticed, and I forgot to mention though, but I actually highlight a node, then I select add task, and the task will immediately be added below the selected task. You can also remove tasks as well under delete tasks, or edit the task name, and later on I'll cover emailing tasks, but each of these tasks can also be arbitrarily emailed as you need to send them out to people, for example, to remind them to execute that part of the project. And then you can add attachments to various parts, so each of these nodes will represent an attachment set and then also a linked email set. Like I said, we'll get into linked emails later, but just as an example here, I want to go ahead and add an attachment, and let's select, I'm just going to select arbitrarily another Excel file, and I'll hit attach here. And once I click on attach, after a little while after it's uploaded, you can see that the attachment displays there. Now here we have two different tabs. We have procedures and we have results, and then we have review notes. And you'll see that we can check this off, or the auditor can check this off as complete, and then after the reviewer reviews the work, they can go through it and write review notes and then check off reviewed, and then only after those review notes are cleared and the reviewer comes back in to check it, you can hit complete. And I'll cover different access levels and for example, the editor, manager, and reviewer profiles in another Getting Started series. This is the first in a series of videos that I'll put out weekly. So okay, let's go back to results and procedures. Every auditor or every practice has their own approach. For example, here I like to make report the last tab because all of the text in here, everything that I put in here, I'll culminate and I'll eventually export in the data export area to a separate file, for example, a Word document, to edit that as the formal report. And everybody has their own reporting approach. So in getting used to this tool, I encourage you to put your report approach in one of these tabs and use that as the report. And you can do it under procedures, for example, the last one in procedures, if that's more convenient for you. What is important, though, is to know that you can change these. It doesn't have to be procedure, objective, policy. It's a rather free-form tool, and that's one of the strengths of it, is that it applies to a variety of audit and documentation projects. So you can go in here under project preferences, and you can see where the tab headings are here, and there is a label box there, a text box, where you can go in and change each one of these headings. That makes it a rather versatile tool for all of us to use as audit practitioners. I hope you enjoyed this. This is a quick start video from workpapers.pro. Also, I just wanted to let you know one more time, visit the WorkPapers forum at http://support.workpapers.pro. Thank you.